Hello everyone, this is Jyotsna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we will see the interview questions and answers on the software testing or manual testing. So there are some very basic interview questions on manual testing, which we will get to ask in most of the interview questions. So I have divided those interview questions in three parts. So in this is the first part where I'll be explaining the top 20 interview questions which most of the time will get asked in the interviews. Okay, so starting with first is what is software testing? So the very basic question an interviewer might ask is what is software testing or what is manual testing? So software testing is nothing but process used to find any existing bugs in the software with the help of executing a program or application. So the next question is what are the different levels of testing? We have already seen these levels in our other videos. So there are four different levels in software testing. Is unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing and user acceptance testing. So whenever interviewer is asking you the different levels, so you are supposed to answer with these four levels of testing. The third basic question is what are the different methods of testing? So we just saw the levels of testing. Then again, what are the different methods of testing? So there are three different methods. One is black box, second white box, and then gray box. You can explain all these three methods of testing. So for the black box testing, it is a testing strategy based solely on requirements and specifications. In this strategy, it requires no knowledge of internal path structures or implementation, means coding of the software testing, the software being tested. So black box, as the name suggests, it is a strategy only giving the input to the system and checking the output of the system with requirements or specifications. So the another one is white box testing. White box testing is a strategy based on the internal paths, code structures, and implementation of the software being tested. So the white box testing generally requires detailed programming skill of the software. The third method of testing is box testing. It is a strategy for software debugging in which the tester has limited knowledge of the internal details of the program. So they don't need to have all full programming skills. Only the limited skill is required for the gray box testing. This is the third question, which is very basic, and most of the interview ask for the manual testing questions. The fourth one is explain the phases of software testing life cycle. I already have one full video regarding this, so I will just show you the different levels of software testing life cycle. So in this image you can see the different levels. First, starting with analysis, the analyzing the requirement. This is the first phase of software testing lifecycle. Then after analyzing, we create the test plan. Means tester create the test plan for the testing. Then test case development. After creating the plan, they develop the test cases. After developing the test cases, execution of test cases. Then execution goes to the with test results, and after the test results, test closure with test deliverables. So these are the six different phases of software testing lifecycle. The next question is what are the various types of software testing? So there are a lot of types of software testing. I have mentioned the most important software testing types here. The one is first one is smoke testing, then system testing, unit testing, functional testing, performance testing, shakeout testing, alpha and beta testing, load testing, and stress testing, which comes under performance testing, white box and black box testing, which we just saw the different methods of testing. It also comes under software testing types. Then integration and regression testing. So we already have the different videos in our playlist, software testing playlist for these types of testing, please go and watch those videos to learn detail about these types of testing. The next question is, what are the different types of functional testing? So functional testing is also one of the type of software testing. Now there are different uh, testing types which falls under functional testing. Functional means testing the functionality of the software. So smoke testing, sanity testing, integration testing, regression testing, localization testing, and user acceptance testing. These testing types falls under functional testing. The next question is, what are the different types of non-functional? So functional means testing the functionality of the software. Non-functional means testing the non-functional area of the software. So under this comes performance testing and usability testing, then security testing, installation testing, recovery testing. So these different types of testing comes under non-functional testing types. The next question, this is a very important question. Most of the interviewer ask this question. So here, what is bug, error, defect, failure, and what is the difference between them? This is a very important question. So first we will see what is error. So error is a mistake made by programmer during coding. It is called as error. Means when a programmer makes any mistake during coding, it is called error. And this error is found during the unit testing in the development phase. Then it is called as defect. And an error found during the testing phase is called bug. And when this error is found at a end user's end, um, it is called failure. So it is all interconnected. First, starting with if error is made or any mistake is made by programmer is error, and if that error is found in development unit testing phase, then it is defect, and if it is found in testing phase, then it is called bug, and when that error is found at the end user, it is called failure. So this is very basic and very important question asked by the interviewer. The next question is, explain bug life cycle or defect life cycle. So bug life cycle, also known as defect life cycle. So this image explains the cycle of bug life. So first start with open. The first phase in the bug life cycle is new or open. Whenever the tester creates new bug, so it comes and it opens as a new or open. So after that, it gets assigned to the developer. So next phase is assign, and when developer fix that bug, then the status of or phase of that bug is updated to fixed, and after fixing the bug, it again get reassigned to the tester to retest. So the next stage is retest. So after tester tests the bug, if the bug is fixed properly, then it goes to the close phase. Otherwise, it tester reopens the bug, and it again gets assigned to the developer for the fixing the bug. So this is the bug life cycle, which is also one of the most important question. The next question is, what are the principle of software testing? There are seven different principle of software testing. I have only given the initials. What are those principles? If you want to go and learn in details each principle, go and watch my other video for on the principles of software testing. So the first principle is absence of error fallacy. Testing shows the presence of errors. Next is exhausting testing is impossible. Then next fourth one is defect clustering. Then pesticide paradox, early testing, and testing is context dependent. These are the seven different principles, and this is also one of the important question asked by the interviewer. The next question is, what is regression testing in software testing? So regression testing is in software testing practice that ensures an application still functioning as expected after any code changes, update or improvement. So this is one of the functional type of software testing. What is exploratory testing? So exploratory testing is a hand-on approach in which testers are involved in minimal planning, and maximum test execution. So this is also one of the important question. Most of the time interviewer asks what is exploratory testing. So you need to give the example and the definition for the exploratory testing. What is end-to-end testing? So end-to-end testing is the process, as the name suggests, it is a process of testing a software system from start to finish. Means from the first end to the last end, giving the input and checking the output of the system against the requirements. The tester tests the software just like an end user would. For example, to test a desktop software, the tester will install the software at the user as the user would, and then open it, use the application as intended, and verify the behavior. Same for the web application. So this is called end-to-end testing. Next is what is unit testing. So unit testing is a process of testing a single unit of a code in an isolated manner. Most of the time developers do the unit testing. So this is also one of the very important question. What is traceability matrix? So the relationship between test cases and requirements. This is very important. The relation between test cases and requirement is shown with the help of document. This document is called traceability matrix. So next question is what is difference between static and dynamic testing? As the name suggests, what is the difference between static and dynamic testing? So we'll see. Static testing is a testing during static methods, the code is not executed. So, as the name suggests, during static testing method, the code is not executed and it is performed using the software documentation. We do not have to develop any code or software to do the static testing. It is based on the software documentation. And what dynamic testing does is here we to perform this testing, the code is required to be in executable forms. Means software need to be developed to do the dynamic testing. The next question is what are the verification and validation and the difference between them? This is also an important question. So first we'll see what is verification. It is a static analysis technique. Means uh, what we do in the static testing. Testing is done without executing the code, means verification. For example, reviews, inspection, walkthroughs. These are the example for the static testing or verification. Then validation. It is a dynamic analysis techniques where testing is done by executing the code. And example is functional and non-functional testing techniques. These comes under validation. The next question is what is test case? What is a test case? What when a tester says he has developed the test cases based on the test plan or the requirement document, then what is that test case? So a test case is nothing but a set of conditions or variables under which a tester will determine whether a system under test satisfy requirements or works correctly. Means before executing the test cases, we write the test case in which we build some test cases and conditions or the variables under using or we are testing the system. So first build the test case and then execute those on the system and to check if the test is satisfy requirements or it is working properly or not. The next is usability testing. So, as the name suggests, it is a testing methodology where the end customer is asked to use the software to see if the product is easy to use. Checking the usability of the product means usability testing. The 20th question is, which is the last for this part of the interview questions, which is what is coverage and what are the different types of coverage techniques. So what is coverage? The parameter used in the software testing to describe the extent to which a source code is tested is known as coverage. And there are three basic types of coverage techniques are statement, decision, and path. So what is statement coverage? It ensures that each line of the source code has been executed and tested. In the decision coverage, it assures that every decision, which is true or either false, in the source code has been executed and tested, means positive and negative scenarios. The path coverage, here we ensures that every possible route through a given part of the code is executed in path coverage. So these are the three different types of uh, coverage techniques used in software testing. It is also a very important question. So we have seen the 20 very important questions. Most of the time, manual tester can get asked by the interviewer in the interview. In the next part, we will see the next 20 question uh, which are asked by the interviewer. Thank you so much for watching the video.